Hey folks, welcome back to Ed's Garage at Merton Hyundai. Today we're going to go over the delivery procedure for the IONIQ 5 and how we basically set up the vehicle and prepare it and get it ready for the client. So first off, I want to show you, so I've got this checklist. Now this checklist basically allows us to kind of go through with the client how to use everything in the vehicle. So I've gone ahead and sort of pre-filled that out. There are some things that don't apply, so I've got them crossed out. And some things that I've already done, like the pre-delivery inspection and such, is all complete. So just wanted to show that real quick. Now, of course, we also have a lot of documentation with the vehicle. This is actually a combination of English and French documentation. So I have checked with the client, and by the way, I'd like to say thank you, Chris, for letting me use your vehicle for this video. But yes, so Chris said he's okay with just having the English stuff, so I'm going to make sure to recycle all of the French stuff. So we'll see what we got here. So for instance, there's the owner's manual for the vehicle, and then this is the French version, so we don't need that. And I'll make sure to recycle that properly as well. And then we've also got the infotainment manual here. There's the English version and then the French version there. And everything else is actually a combination of English and French. So we'll put all of that in the pouch. So this is the pouch that shipped with the vehicle here. So I'll stick all of that in there, and I'll actually go over each one of these things with my client as well. And to make sure that if he has any trouble finding what he needs to figure out in the manual, he can always give me a call. So I'll put my business card in there also. All right. The next thing, of course, is we'll make sure that we have both keys for the vehicle. And here they are. So I'm going to go ahead and go out to the vehicle now and set it up and get it ready to go. All right, so there it is, the beautiful Hyundai IONIQ in lucid blue. Absolutely gorgeous color. Now this is the preferred long-range version. So it's already been completely cleaned and detailed. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the back here and just make sure everything looks good back here. So we've got a free cargo net with the vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. And then I've also got the charging cable here, which we're going to put into the frunk. I'll do that in a moment. So this one doesn't have the big subwoofer here, so it's got some room for things like the tire mobility kit. Look at that. So Hyundai, nice intelligent way of doing this. They've actually got this Velcroed to the floor, so it's quite stuck. I'm going to leave that there for now because I can't move it with one hand. But yeah, everything looks good back here. It's all been cleaned up. We'll go ahead and install the cargo net momentarily. But let's open up the frunk and put the charging cable into the frunk right away. And to do that, I'm just going to pull the handle right here. Now the nice thing about the IONIQ is it actually has the little struts to hold the hood up. So I don't have to fumble with that. And there's our little frunk. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that in there. And that just frees up some space in the back. Now I'm going to put that tire mobility kit in there as well, but honestly that Velcro was really tight. I couldn't pull it out with one hand. So under here is also the DC battery, the accessory battery. So I'm going to show them where that is, show them where the fuse box is, the brake fluid, the motor and battery coolants, and then of course the windshield washer fluid. Got to go over all of that stuff with them as well. So, but I'll go ahead and close that up for now, and let's get in the car and actually start it up so that we can set up the vehicle the way that most people want it. Now, obviously there's going to be some customization, but I'll go over that with him as well, of course. So, all right. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice is we have this little screen come up here, and it says driver 1, driver 2, or guest. So I'm going to go ahead and go to driver 1, confirm that. And immediately the climate control actually shuts off because the climate control is actually controlled by the driver profiles as well. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go next. I'm going to keep it on the QWERTY keyboard because that's what people are most used to. And I'm actually going to change the name to the client's name as well. All right, we always want to put on the 3D map. It's definitely the easiest to use, the best looking. Okay, there we go. So that's now set up. And before I forget, so what I should have actually done is went straight into profile settings. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the user profile settings here. just go back into it. Let's choose a profile image. Now the profile image, if you know your client well, you can choose a profile image that kind of suits them. To be quite frank, I don't think I know them well enough yet, so I'm going to go with... Well, you know what? Let's pick this one here. It's a picture of a car, so that'll work. But of course, I'll show them how to do that as well. You'll also notice it actually can be linked to a BlueLink account, and I'm going to help him set up his BlueLink account as well. All right, so first off, in the setup, we're going to go to Vehicle here. And let's see, driving assistance. So we're going to make sure that all of the driving assistance is turned on. So of course, there are options in here like you can enable and disable the highway drive assist and the automatic speed change. The speed limit warning, so you could put that on if you want. It's going to depend on the driver, on the purchaser. I usually leave this just at 0, and then if they want, they can change it, but I'll show them where that is as well. There's also a speed limit warning here, so it'll give him a little bit of a warning if he's going over speed, but we'll leave that the way it is default there. Warning timing we'll leave on standard. Warning volume we'll leave on medium. If you have an elderly buyer, it's good to put that on high, right? So if they're hard of hearing. Driver attention warning, we want to make sure those are both turned on, which they are. We got the active assist on forward safety. Lane safety currently is off, so we'll definitely turn that on. And then blind spot monitor with assist, we want to make sure that that's on as well. And then parking safety, rear cross traffic safety is turned on, which is good. We've got the guidance lines in the display settings. You can change the brightness and contrast and whatnot. So we're going to leave all that default. So that looks good. Let's go to drive mode. So brake mode, again, this is going to depend on your buyer. So for now, we're going to leave that as default factory settings. Oh, climate control eco mode. Oops. Very, very touch sensitive screen. I was barely skimming over it. So climate control eco mode. So we're definitely going to want to leave that on as well. And I just accidentally hit a button down here. So pardon me. Pretty easy to use the system, but it's everything's very sensitive, and I just had my palm resting on one of these buttons in case you're wondering what just happened there. Okay, so on the Eco vehicle, we can actually disable the smart regeneration system, how quickly and how much it regenerates, that sort of thing. We'll just leave that default as well. Most of the stuff, guys, is already set up correctly, but we're gonna leave a lot of these things, but we're gonna change some, obviously. So just wanted to go over those. We got that's definitely one I want to change. So charging voice prompts, we want to turn that up because it's quite quiet. If the doors are closed, you won't be able to hear it. So that's when you plug in the car and it says charging started, or that sort of thing. Let's go to cluster illumination. So I always crank this, but of course we want to show the client where that is as well. Blue light filter, we definitely want to turn that on. I usually put that around 4 or 5, and it's on automatic, so we'll leave that there. I like to disable the extending of the rear camera use. Personally, I find it's kind of silly because when you take it out of reverse, you don't really need the reverse camera anymore, and it stays on for a period of time where you might be wanting to change the radio or something like that. So we're gonna undo that. So that's an illumination. Select themes, we'll go to that. So it's currently linked to the drive mode, but again, we're going to show them that. Service interval, now this of course is an electric vehicle, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on 24,000 kilometers. Or I'm going to go 10 months. All right, there we go. Now, I think in the manual it's 12 months or 24,000 K, but it's good to be reminded as you're getting close. So we'll leave that on 10 months. Reset fuel economy, I'm going to put that on manual because every time you recharge the vehicle, it resets your fuel economy meter, and I'd rather have that as a running tally. Content selection, we want to make sure that those are both turned on, and of course we definitely want to have the welcome sound turned on. All right, under climate, recirculate, we're going to want that automatic on windshield washer fluid, so that's good, that's already set up. Automatic ventilation's all turned on, so that looks good as well. Auto defrost is on. Now this is one thing that I might turn off, but the IONIQ 5 is actually pretty good at not freezing your face off when it turns on the defrost, so we're going to leave that on for now. And then of course, because this one has a heat pump, it does need to use AC to dry the front window when it's trying to defrost the front window. So that's why I sometimes turn that off, but it kind of depends on the EV. My EV, right there, the old IONIQ, it's not great at warming up air-conditioned air, whereas this one is a little better, so we're going to leave that turned on. All right, we're going to go down to lights now. One-touch turn signal. We definitely want to put that on 5 flashes. It's a nice interval for lane changes and exiting roundabouts. Headlight delay and high beam assist, we'll leave those on. We'll go down to the door here. So auto unlock and lock, we're going to leave those as default. Approach unlock, this is cool. So when you approach the vehicle, it automatically unlocks for you. We are going to enable the 2-press unlock, so that'll allow you to unlock all the doors with the button press on the key fob twice, or just the driver's door when you press it once. And then remote window control. So enables and disables remote window control function. So this is pretty cool. So you can actually roll down all the windows using the button on your key fob. Now I believe what you do is you just hold down the unlock button, but I've never actually tried it. All right, under convenience, we got the rear occupant alert. We'll definitely leave that turned on as well. So that's everything in the vehicle section. Now, if you have the client's home address, you can you can set that up in the nav screen. This is just the customization for the map, which we've already kind of done by enabling the 3D map system. So I don't think there's really anything here that we want to change from default. Let's just have a quick look. Camera alert distance, that just needs blue link. Yeah, no, we're just going to leave that as default. Under sound, speed volume control, we're going to put that on largest change. Startup volume limit, we definitely want to have that enabled. Position, maybe put it to the back a tiny bit. Tone, increase the bass a bit. Depends on the vehicle, but I find the IONIQ 5's bass is pretty good already. So we'll just increase it to 8, maybe 7. Not all the way like our other Hyundai vehicles. We'll leave the settings here for guidance volumes. Radio noise, we like to put that on maximum noise reduction. Driver assistance, we can put that on parking safety priority. So when you put the vehicle into reverse, or anytime that the parking warnings come on, it'll lower the volume a little bit, which is good. Okay, so that's everything in sound. Device connections, we're not going to do anything in there right now, other than check to make sure no other devices have been paired already, which they haven't. All right, user profile we already did. Voice recognition, there's nothing really to change there. We're going to go to screen theme layout. So you can actually, from here, you can change the entire theme of both screens to black mode. So if you want, there we go, now everything's in black. Or you can have that scheduled, but I'm going to put it back into white because most people do like the white system. Screensaver, we're going to enable digital clock there, so when you turn off the screen by holding the power button, you'll actually have a digital clock. And then in the split screen, we want to make sure all of the options are available, and they are. All right, under display, we've already got the blue light filter, so that's good. Extend camera reset, we already did that stuff. Okay, so button. So in the custom nav button, so that is this one right here. We're going to enable phone projection. So if the customer uses Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, they can quickly get back to it simply by pressing that button. The custom button on the steering wheel, we like to put that on reject end call, and that's this one right here. It's right next to the answer call button. So we definitely want to have that hang up a call. And then the mode button on the steering wheel, we're going to go ahead and enable all of these, but I'll show the client where to disable those if he doesn't use a particular one. And then the volume knob and the tuning knob can actually be swapped. We're going to leave those the way they are. Okay, Blue Link we'll set up with the client, and then general. Really the only thing to check in here is to make sure that the date and time is set correctly, which I believe it is. Let's see, is it 10:20? Nope, it's 11:20 because it's, of course, daylight savings time. That's right. Units, we want to make sure that everything's in metric in Canada, and of course, if you're down in the States, you'll want to put everything in imperial. Media options, so this we can just leave the same, nothing to change there, and that's pretty much it in this screen. Now we're going to move over to the instrument cluster. So I'm going to control the instrument cluster with these two buttons right here. This one here kind of scrolls along the top menu items, and then this one allows me to go up and down within the menu. So if you see, this particular one has two separate menus. All right. Now, right here it says last break was 10 minutes ago. And that's because I've been in the car for 10 minutes. So I'm going to hold down this OK button now to reset that. There we go. And then I'm going to bounce over to the next screen and make sure that everything in here is reset. So reset that one. Sorry, this one can't be reset. This is sort of a running tally. So we're going to go down to after last recharge. We can reset that one. Go down to the accumulated info, reset that one. And then it goes back up to the drive info. So we'll leave that. So drive info is basically a running tally since the car was started. This isn't one that you can reset, but when you shut the car off, turn it back on, it resets automatically. All right, so we're going to bounce over to the one to the right. Nothing in there. So I'm going to go one further. That's just the tire pressure monitor system. And another one further, and it just bounces back to that screen there. So that's pretty much it. That's all you can really do in there. Not really much else you can do there. So, all right. Aside from that, you just want to make sure that the car is nice and clean. I've looked around for plastics. I didn't see any additional plastics, so my lot attendant did a great job cleaning this vehicle and getting rid of all of the plastics. Sometimes they forget the ones in the mirrors, but they got those today as well. So the car has been set up and it's ready for the client. That's how I do it. So thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below. If you liked this video, if you thought it was interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.